I really don't think that we should be getting the majority of our PPE, our protective equipment from China. We get the majority of medicines and other type of equipment from the very country that started this pandemic, that could have stopped it at their shores, and who clearly doesn't have the interests of the international community in mind. They have the Chinese Communist Party's interest in mind. So I want to do whatever we can to incentivize businesses to come back to the United States, especially those businesses that are manufacturing medical equipment, those businesses that are making pharmaceuticals. I think we should do anything we can to incentivize those businesses to come back and be competitive here in the United States. So at least we know that the FDA and USDA and these other agencies can ensure that the products that they are producing are quality products here in the United States. And then if we do have a global pandemic, we actually have the ability to manufacture and supply that here in the United States.
Congressman, I follow you on Twitter, and I saw you tweet this, and I didn't even know about it, so I'm sure everyone else didn't hear about it. But the Trump administration this week announced more than $35 million in Justice Department grants for organizations that provide safe housing for the victims of human trafficking. Now, we hear the Democrats talk a lot about how they care about women and children, but it's Republicans who walk the walk.
And it's been Republicans in Florida. Florida is one of the worst states as it relates to that issue in the country. There's a lot of women that are trafficked here in Florida. And so as a state legislator, I was at the forefront of that fight, filing bills to prevent sex trafficking here in the state of Florida. And again, you're not going to hear in the mainstream media them talking about President Trump doing everything he can from the administration standpoint to ensure that we're protecting those individuals that are getting caught up in this horrible ring of sex trafficking.
Yeah, and as you know, the human sex trafficking is like a multi-billion-dollar industry worldwide, and it's just an issue that's not covered a lot. We don't see a lot of action against it, so it is nice to see the Trump administration taking action finally. Now, I wanted to get your reaction to the ongoing protests and unrest happening in this country. The Democrats, again, they either look the other way or they actually encourage it and say, oh, well, you know, nothing to see here. These are just peaceful protesters, when we actually know that's not the case.
Yeah, Bill Barr, when he testified before our committee, said it was very bad for our country to have Democrats not condemning violent acts against not just federal property, but individuals. You saw recently in a committee hearing, Senator Cruz gave the Democrats the opportunity to voice their opposition to the violence, and one of the senators got up and walked out of the committee room. Democrats are completely resistant and reluctant and unable to condemn violence in these cities because they're happening in cities that Democrats control. Those type of things are not happening in the 17th district of Florida. And if it was, it would be dealt with very, very quickly. And those people would go to jail for injuring individuals, harming individuals, or harming federal property. But that's not happening here in my district. It's happening in those districts that are run by liberal Democrats and liberal mayors who are unwilling to go out and, one, condemn the violence, and two, put these people behind bars for their attacks on property.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate what's happening in these cities, especially for law-abiding citizens who are totally against what they're saying. And again, the silence from the media and from Democratic politicians who should be stepping up and condemning this is just shameful. Well, we're going to have to leave it here. Congressman, thanks for coming on with us.
Yeah, great to see you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.